please pray for me?
You're watching Rogers TV.
Here to the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center on top of what would be the J.D. McCarthy Arena for tonight's MSL between the Owen Sound North Stars and the Cobourg Kodiaks. Spencer Bars alongside me, Steve McCarthy. And Steve, just before the national anthem hits, I hope, what is the expectation for this Owen Sound team that's won now 2 straight coming into tonight?
Well, again, you just certainly want to see them continue to improve, eliminate a lot of the little mistakes that tend to end up in your own net. And you know, we've seen some progression throughout the season. We've been in a lot of games, and recently we've been able to compete in 3 periods in a row, and thus we've won a couple in a row.
And with that, we'll quickly go to Fred Wallace for the national anthem. After the national anthem, Cobourg versus Owen Sound. Cobourg currently 4-6 on the year, looking to keep themselves above the playoff line, which they currently are now in, just above Oakville. As you take a look at their starting netminder, which, if I'm not mistaken, looking at my stat sheet, for the first time this season, at least his first start of the season, it'll be Joel Watson for the Cobourg Kodiaks. Unlike in the Owen Sound net, it will be the always reliable Owen Sound native, Caleb Martin.
Yeah, I think Joel Watson, he's appeared in a couple games this season. He came over in a trade with Brooklyn, or a free agent claim. You know, he's had some time in the NLL with Rochester in the last couple of seasons. He's been in Las Vegas primarily as a backup to Landon Kells, but Joel's been around, a veteran guy, and I'm sure he's looking forward to getting a start here.
Mitch Gustafson will take the face-off, and a jump going against the Kodiaks will give Owen Sound the first possession of the game. Peshko. Played it forward to Dante Koulis. Koulis for Jackson Webster. Webster looks to fire. Still looking to fire. Webster now makes a move. Webster shot. That one saved by Watson.
And Webster picked up the rebound here, so they're going to get another go at it here offensively.
And that was Webster who picked the ball up. Over for Dante Koulis. McNabb down for Jonathan Peshko. Peshko looking to fire. He will off the crossbar. Just couldn't get that one into the net. But it's about as close as you could get. As Woods now with possession for the Kodiaks. Fired across. That shot scores! An early one through Martin. As Cobourg get the first marker of the game.
And again, you hate to see the first shot go in all the time, and also you hate to see to give up the top side. We talk about this again a lot, and you just can't allow them. You got to cut that off. And you know, anyways, lots of time left here. 59 minutes exactly.
Brennan there with the goal is now flying up the floor. Come Owen Sound, passed over, and it just misses the stick there of Hayden Summers-Thompson. As Summers-Thompson got hacked and lost his stick, no whistle though. Played back now for Carter Moran, who appeared in the Senior B game earlier. He's now playing in the MSL game now.
Yeah, we're counting on the young legs there to be able to last 60 minutes.
And McNabb almost got his bucket flipped off there by Pouliot. Gave him an extra whack. Surprised they didn't call the slash on McNabb, but lucky for him, they decided to let it go. Guerin. Played over, and now it's into the middle again. Anderson fires down. Saris shot, and that one saved by Caleb Martin. Had a chance to talk to Saris just before the game, so you get a chance to see that in between the first and second period. As now up the floor comes Tyler Halls and the Owen Sound North Stars. Moran fires back for Tyler Brown. Brown over to, I believe that is Peshko, and they're going to call an illegal screen against Dante Koulis, so all the way the ball will go.
Again, that's a pretty, it's not that it isn't the right call, but more often than not, they let those go. It certainly wasn't a big collision on the backside that forced the player to the ground, but nonetheless, if it's consistent, I'm sure the players will appreciate it.
Woods gave it off. That shot goes wide. Attempt there by Hair Wires. And now flipped up the floor to Hayden Summers-Thompson. Thompson shot that one right into the chest of Watson.
Yeah, and again, an ill-advised shot in transition. You know, I know he had a bit of a look there, but he was on his wrong side. And Joel Watson is a 300-pound fella. And
almost fired that one. Got handcuffed before it ever got out of his stick there with Stone Jacobs. And now flying up the floor come Owen Sound again. Blumbergs fires back for Webster. Passed around now. McNabb over for Webster. Webster makes a move, he fires and scores! Jackson Webster gets Owens down on the board and ties it up at 1.
Yeah, just an outstanding sort of outside-inside move, get himself a shooting lane and ripped the top corner there on Joel Watson. And again, Joel's a big goalie, really looks to cut the angles down, and you're not going to get a lot of movement out of him. And Jackson found his spot and moved the twine.
Gustafson against Bohm again. One back by Mitch Gustafson, who will retreat and try to find an option. He doesn't command it, but command it gets it over half and fires it across. Koulis now make his way into the floor. Koulis trying to take on his defender, and that one is ripped away there.
And again, just a pass that Dante Koulis isn't going to want to make. He was outnumbered and trying to skip pass across the zone, which is easy pickings for the Cobourg defense. So you just wait till your mates get on the floor and then get everybody a touch.
That one behind the net it goes. That ball in front, saved there by Martin. It's being fought for there in the corner. The Cobourg Kodiaks come out with it, looking to fire, does it. Sarah's shot, that's a good save there by Caleb. Now flying out the floor again comes the goal scorer, Webster. Webster thought about firing. What a pass! Peshko put that one wide, and that might skip over for a back, or over and back. It's picked up by Phoenix before it ever gets there. Phoenix in, save there by Martin. Trailing him with Tyler Brown. Heading forced into the boards there. Look to be Noah Millsap, who will run it up the floor. Gives it off there to, I believe that's Peshko, who got yanked by a couple different white shirts, and not exactly the best transition there by the North Stars. That ball, though, given right back.
And you have to know who you're passing it to. And
now Commandant running in 1-on-3. Does find an open space there on the floor. Looking for a pass, though. Hasn't found one yet. Now gives it off to Elijah Brown. Now for Carter Moran. Moran back for Webster. Back for Moran. Moran now over for McNabb. McNabb off the back of the helmet there as he tried to find Elijah Brown, who slides and may just have to fire it into the corner, and basically does, as the possession change will go against Owen Sound, as that ball was technically put on target. We'll also mention Elijah Brown played in the previous game, but not for the Owen Sound side, for the Six Nations Rivermen. Played around the top there is Tara Wires. Pass it in the middle, wide open, and scores just through Caleb Martin, and that is the second for Guerin.
Yeah, again, that's just a tough play. You got to be able to collapse inside, and somebody lost their guy, and he was wide open, and Caleb got a piece of it, but it dribbled in. But again.
And it looked like either Gustafson or Cecile will be my guess. Or pardon me, I think that's Halls, actually.
Well, Halls came from the backside as the help, but yeah, that wasn't his side initially. But nonetheless, again, just things you want to clean up, a couple fundamental things. Don't lose your guy in front of your net, and cut the top off, or don't allow them to come around with that shooting lane.
Phoenix plays it back, and it will be walked into there by...
I think that was Marcus Minincello that might have brought that ball up. And
I'm happy you said that one, because we kept looking at it. Steve went, I'm going to wait. And I'm definitely going to butcher Minincello. Now flying up the floor goes Gustafson. He's got lots of room to run. Gustafson fires, good save, rebound! And they're going to say he stepped in, and I think Halls did retrieve that ball in the restricted area. Now the white shirts with possession. Played down now as Airwires lost possession of that one. Played back now to Haley. Played into the middle, Woods, I believe, saved by Caleb Martin.
Yeah, that might have been off the bar, and again, just a poorly played two-man game on the Owen Sound side of the defense, and Brock Haley took two with him, and
Wires now, good save, rebound, stepped in for sure, I'd say, and the whistle agrees with me.
Yeah, Owen Sound's going to really have to tighten up here on defense. They've been rather porous to start this game, but still only allowed two.
Tyler Brown now back in possession. Back for Moran. A little bit of past the parcel there. Is now played up top for Kulis. Down for Peshko. Peshko making a break for it. Peshko in! Good save there by Watson.
And again, Cobourg's doing a good job of keeping Owen Sound to the perimeter and to the outside of things.
And wide open again. That shot saved there by Martin. Brennan again wide open. He's already got two. He's looking for the third one.
Yeah, again, just a total breakdown in transition. And the offense has to get off the floor and the defense has to respond.
Now Webster looking for a shot. He gets it through the technically screen there of Tyler Brown, but Watson's up to the task.
Yeah, and again, they cannot live on the perimeter. We've gone over this game after game, and until they can get inside, they're not going to have a lot of luck here on the offense tonight.
Anderson played it down for Saris. Haley across. Back there as they're going to tie up. Hall's trying to get there. Hall's almost kicked it looked like. Hall's trying to get through Haley. He's now over center, so now he's got to keep it. Halls looks like he lost it, bounces it though, and Summers Thompson right there as well, but can't retrieve it.
Again, Tyler Halls would have been better served to let that 30-second clock run out. You know, great effort to pick up the ball, but with 4 seconds left, he was in a crowd, and didn't have a lot of hope getting out of that.
And had nowhere to go once he got past the center line. As that shot saved, Saris thought he beat Martin. I think everyone thought Martin maybe let that one get through him, but it ends up getting stuck in his pants, it looks like. As now forward comes Will Cecile. And Cecile going to play some offense now. Kulis fires, that ball is deflected, and it goes in! I think Cecile will get the credit. We'll take a look at the replay. But the North Stars with an unorthodox tying goal here with 11:31 left in the first. And I'm gonna wait to see the official score, but I don't think that hit her black shirt. I believe that went off Cecile and a Cobourg player, as the North Stars are doing the same thing we are, taking a look quick glance at the replay. And pardon me, that was Kulis. And nobody knew where it was, especially Watson. And what's this go off? It looks like it goes off of the defender there in Jonah Bohm. So Kulis with the goal. So Dante Kulis gets himself on the score sheet, and it's a tie now at 2s with about 9 minutes gone left. It's Minicello. Hands it off there to Anderson, who gets it down for, it looks to be Haley. Played into the middle, and that's a pretty easy call in the end, as that ball was gonna go over. And I'm surprised it wasn't called a over and back, but now it should be and will be whistled down, as Owen Sound will take the first minor of the game, and away will go Noah Millsap for, I assume, either high stick or hooking. And it is hooking.
Yeah, again, you got to make sure you're staying with your guy, and you can't afford to take penalties that don't involve the scoring opportunity, and by not staying within you and the goaltender, you sometimes have to put the grab, or in this case the hook, and we'll take a look now at the power play of Cobourg.
Saris. Played around the top now by the white shirts. Saris playing a little past the parcel there at the top of the zone. Over now for Anderson, that one right into the chest of Martin. Halls now will make a run for it. He'll fling it for Commandant, who will get into the offensive zone. Peshko made a run, but now handed off to Webster. Webster back for Brown. He gave it off for Kulis, Dante Kulis. Bounces it for Webster. Webster, they try to make a run around. May have to fire here with one hand. He will get a chance to fire it, but that's well wide.
A good job eating up that entire 30-second clock, and
Phoenix will now play it forward.
So if they can control here this possession and get it back, they should be able to run the clock out on this power play.
Just about. Saris went retreating there. Didn't think Anderson would retrieve it. He does, so Saris now. Brennan playing past the parcel there. Saris will fire it off the board, off of Martin, and in the restricted area for Halls, who thought about taking the stretch pass there to a runner, which was Will Cecile. Halls thinks better of it, and Halls will make a run for it now. A weird change by Cobourg. May have gave Halls a chance to make a run at the net, but thinks better and decides to chew rightly, you'd say, the rest of whatever they can on this minor. That shot right into the wickets there, as that was Greg Elijah Brown, as now a minor's going against the white shirts. So the rest of the Cobourg power play is now over, or should be over, and it'll be 4-on-4 for 26 seconds, and then it'll be a power play for 1:33. As away goes there for the Kodiaks, look to be David Anderson, one of the more potent offensive options here for Cobourg. I believe he's currently second on the team in points, which I would be right with 17. Peshko.
I think you'll see some isolation here for Peshko. There's not really many guys can handle him one-on-one. And
over now for Webster. Webster, nice move again. Webster in, that shot saved by Watson. Now Pouliot will run it up the floor. Fired it forward, gets it there. That shot saved there by Caleb Martin. That ball swept and missed, maybe intentionally. It works out as Hayden Summers-Thompson runs onto it.
And again, just a lackadaisical coming off the bench on Owen Sound. You can't give them 2 feet because they can thread the needle at this level. So, you certainly can't expect that they can't make that pass. You have to play it as though you think they can make it and cover it accordingly.
Peshko for McNabb. McNabb back for Peshko. Fires it. That's a good save. It caroms into the corner and picked up by McNabb, who also played in the Senior B game, only for the 5th time this year in the OSL there for Jake McNabb. Played across now Webster. Webster, Peshko. McNabb fires. It scores! Jake McNabb makes it a 3-2 game in favor of Owen Sound. Their first lead of the night. Power play marker for number 3.
And again, Jake is so potent from that spot in the floor. When you give him time and space, you know, he's got a hard, heavy, accurate shot. And this is the case. He's allowed to pump it when underhand, far side, probably under Joel Watson's glove. We'll get a better angle here. And that's precisely where it went. And, you know, that's Jake's office. To defend him, you want to cut that off and make him play in other areas of the floor where he's not comfortable. And but that's right up his alley.
Battle for it there after the face-off. Phoenix now getting harassed by Mitch Gustafson. And now back the other way they'll go. That's blocked by...
That's got to be 8 seconds. Like,
that's Noah Millsap, but now possession changed anyway. It's now Austin Blumbergs. He's back now for Carter Moran. Back now for Webster. Down for Koulis. Koulis for Moran, it misses and will carry him into the corner as Puliak goes to retrieve it. So does Moran, and it is taken by the Kodiaks, and running up the floor they will go as it's Jacobs. Stone Jacobs.
And again, Owen Sound.
Score! Stone Jacobs able to get over the top and make it a 3-3 tie.
And again, just a total lackluster effort getting off the floor. I mean, Jake McNabb gave him a big spark on that power play, and then he loafed off the floor. His guy beat him to the bench, and they allowed to have a 3-on-2 situation, and they've, you know, given up the lead. Just an easy play to defend if you're even strength, but they allowed him to come across, take that shot because nobody was there to pick him up. You cannot get outnumbered in transition.
Bohm versus Gustafson again, now back tied with 7.5 left in this first period. Gustafson gets it whacked out of his stick, and he might lose it. It looks like he will. Ball still loose, though, and now retrieved by Owen Sound. Just before the red line there. Kept by Owen Sound, and that is Blumbergs. Blumbergs now just trying to find any open space. Now giving off there to Elijah Brown. Back for Elijah Brown in. That one just wide, and I believe into the rafters. Didn't whistle it, so possession will go back to the Kodiaks regardless.
Great cut by Greg Elijah Brown there, getting to the net and getting a nice shot away. And yeah, those are the kind of things that they're going to need to do on offense here.
Sarah's shot saved there by Martin. Anderson back with possession. Played up to the top now. Haley for Anderson. Anderson trying to get over, plays it back down for Haley. That shot, I believe, is saved by Caleb Martin. It is, so possession will stay with Cobourg.
Again, we've seen a real good job by the Owen Sound defense the last couple of games, cutting that top side off, taking those outside shots away, and making them force down the sides. Tonight, they have not done a very good job so far. So,
and I quickly like to thank Boston Pizza for tonight's crew refreshments. You can see them at 1606 16th Street East here in Owen Sound, or 519-370-2003. Website on the screen. They're also on Skip the Dishes. I know Steve chowed down while he was doing his managerial duties here for the MSL North Stars.
Yeah, don't like to give up that hot pizza.
He fights with it with the great John Cherry, who's below me right now doing, I believe, camera 1. As Peshko making his way around. Back for Koulis. Dante Koulis fires it right into the wickets there of Watson with 1 second left as Brown's fighting for it there in front of the net with one of the Cobourg players who still got a hold of him. And now they will finally break, as I wasn't ball watching, I was watching the other way as Stone Jacobs retrieves it now. As Aaron Woods now fires it, that ball is blocked before it ever got there. Played now into the middle, still never got there, as now it goes into the corner and is picked up easily by Commandant. He plays it forward for Tyler Halls, who will cruise. Halls with a nice fake towards Moran now. Bounces by Sykes for Webster. Webster Back four, that looks to be Tyler Brown. Jackson Webster. Up for now for Jonathan Peshko. Peshko fires! That's a good save by Watson. For a guy who hasn't started a game yet this year for Cobourg, Joel Watson's looked pretty good tonight.
No, I mean, he was a real good goalie with Whitby Junior A's, and just he's always been stacked up against some pretty good goaltenders, whether it be in Brooklyn, even while he spent time with the Merchants, and then this year obviously with Zach Higgins, he's going to take most of the time away. They just didn't have room for both him and Riley Hutchcraft backing up, so Joel's found a home here in Cobourg and making the most of it tonight.
That one got through everybody. That ball went through, I believe, 4 different people and into the stands. It's now possession back for Owen Sound as Brown will cruise in. Brown back for Greg Elijah Brown, down for Jake McNabb. McNabb trying to go over the top. Tries to go back now past Koulis, misses Moran again, and this time it is retrieved by the Cobourg defender. Up the floor comes Pouliot for Stone Jacobs. Jacobs again scores! And again, Stone Jacobs again left with the free run, and again Stone Jacobs makes them pay. 4-3 now in favor of Cobourg.
Yeah, again, their inability to get off the floor in a hurry. Again, these, the offensive guys sometimes don't think much of it, and they're paying the price here. And again, in this time it was just a coverage issue that nobody went out and got the high guy. And again, Caleb's got to start making a couple of these saves. We've expected a lot from him this year, and he's delivering more often than not. But tonight they haven't had a lot of opportunity, and they've got 4 by him.
That ball won all the way back there by Jeremy Phoenix. Now Phoenix will play it forward. Haley fires it, and save there just by Caleb Martin. Nice move there by Commandant. Plays it forward. As now Elijah Brown will play it. That looked to be for Webster. Webster almost mishandled it. Now getting forced into the boards as Webster does find a way through. Webster back for Tyler Brown. Brown will fire it off the post and deflect it before it got there. Pechko can't pick it up and will take a bump for his trouble, and now Stone Jacobs will go. And it's Jacobs on a break for his third, and Jacobs misses the net, but the ball pops out, and they're going to say possession call back for Owen Sound. Lucky there for Halls and Martin, you'd say. As now Skeen.
That would have been quite a tough one to recover from there. So great job by Cale to take this net away from him, and I don't want to see Owen Sound get Peshko involved here.
That's a shot by Peshko, picked up by Koulis, and he stepped in before he fired, so possession will go back to the white shirts.
But it wasn't a shot on goal, so he's allowed to go through the crease if he's not retrieving it. So I'm not quite certain on that call, but perhaps it did hit the goaltender. So nonetheless, we're going the other way.
Passed across the top now, Anderson. Saris. Back down for Hairwires. That shot, Anderson, I believe, missed and goes out of play. They're going to say hit Martin. No, they're not. They're going to say it goes the other way, and I think that's the right call in the end, as Halls will now have possession for Mitch Gustafson. Gustafson off for Carter Moran. Moran looking for an option. Now gives it off there, too. That looks to be Elijah Brown. Blumbergs. Back now for Peshko. Moran, Blumbergs, down goes, I believe that is Webster. That's going to be a minor against Cobourg. So for the second time tonight, Owen Sound will go to the power play. They capitalize on the first one. Jake McNabb getting the marker, and Owen Sound could really use the second power play goal of the night. Yeah,
they've kind of stalled a little bit on offense here the last 4 or 5 minutes, and this hopefully with 2 minutes to go for the Owen Sound's sake can sort of get them reinvigorated here and get a chance to even up this score before the period ends.
I believe that is Justin Sykes going, and that's a pretty obvious call as Jackson Webster got thrown and flew. McNabb, Peshko, put a little bit of pass the parcel there at the top. Webster. They'll now rotate down for Brown. Webster shot, and that one is saved by Watson. Not sure where it landed, so other way it will go now.
It found its way through, but Joel has momentum brought him beside the post, and it came out the other side.
Bounce down, now is Bohm. Bohm getting bumped into one of the referees here tonight. Again, MSL games get 3 of them. Stu Junior and Senior here in Owens Sound only get 2. Bohm will fire it. It goes wide of Martin and will now be Owen Sound possession. 1:12 left in the power play, 1:26 left in the period. Tyler Brown now will retrieve it, and it will start with him. Webster. Brown. Now for Peshko. Brown for McNabb. Passed across the top now by the Black Shirts. Peshko back for McNabb. Again will fire off the crossbar, picked up by Peshko. Peshko thought about giving it back to McNabb, goes the other way to Brown. Peshko fires it just wide. But behind the net it will go. He gets whacked around, and it looks like Minicello is the one who picks it up. But that will start the 8-second clock as Jacobs will just roll it towards Martin. Probably smart, to be honest. Has bounced down to McNabb, who's able to snag it. About 5 seconds, 6 seconds separating penalty and shot clock. Brown for Peshko. McNabb, Peshko. Nice down, tried to get it for Dante Koulis, just missed it. Koulis battles for it. McNabb retrieves it. McNabb might just fire. He gives it off now to Webster. McNabb gonna have to fire it, and it's saved there, as should get there. Just couldn't as Webster, and that's gonna go the other way now. Minicello just couldn't get a hold of it, so he has to retreat, and so does his teammate there in Stone Jacobs. Sykes is now out. That should basically be the period, as that ball is now forced into the corner. Jacobs trying to get away. He couldn't get away, and that will be the period. 4-3 after 1 in favor of the Kodiaks over Owen Sound. Two markers each for Stone Jacobs and Nathan Grennan. McNabb and Webster. And Koulis got the markers for Owen Sound, as I will end with this, Steve. I can't say a great period by the North Stars, but they come in the second only down by 1, which is a positive. And again, they've had at least some good moments in that power play, which hopefully will carry over into the second.
Yeah, I mean, again, anytime you don't play up to what your expectations might be and still be in a game at 4-3 and had the lead at 3-2, you certainly, you'll take that. But again, just giving up transition opportunities is just a recipe for disaster. We saw it earlier today against the Senior Bees with the Six Nations Rivermen, scoring a number of goals in transition, which probably ended up being the difference in the game. And he certainly, from the Owen Sound's perspective, want to eliminate all those opportunities. And that's just fundamentals, getting on and off the floor, knowing who you're taking before you even come on the floor, reading the play as a defender.
And with that, we're right back with the first intermission interview with myself and the leading point getter for the Kodiaks and Braden Saris. But with that, we'll be right back here with more MSL Lacrosse on Rogers TV.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
I did it. I need it.
A hero gave it.
And I am alive.
As an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 others. Please go to our website. Pledge a gift to life. You'll be glad you did.
Your visit isn't really necessary.
I'll judge for myself.
I know you're an MP, Miss McPhail, but a woman has never...
I am not leaving till I do. such a society be called civilized? If those appalling conditions don't change, that prison will explode!
Perhaps our lone lady member is too fragile to know what is normal in a prison.
Is this normal?
Her courage would lead to the overhaul of the entire Canadian penal system. Agnes MacPhail, Canada's first woman MP.
I'm Carol Merton. Please join me for HealthLink, a program connecting home, community, and healthcare. Please join me and watch HealthLink on Rogers TV.
Welcome everyone back here to the Bayshore. Spencer Byers and alongside me, Jonathan Petchko of the MSL North Stars. Jonathan, you've had a great season so far for Owen Sound. You had a hat trick in the first win of the season down in Brampton. You continue that against Oakville. What is it like to finally get a first couple wins of the year?
It means a lot for the team. I think we've been working hard all year to try and get that goal, and just kind of start to see everything come together in those last two games.
Now, what do you feel like you guys have to do tonight to be able to continue that against Cobourg?
I think it's just little plays like ground balls and working hard. That's what got us those first two wins last week. It's really what we have to keep doing if we want to keep seeing success end of the season.
Now you're playing against this Cobourg team that is 4-6, the same as Oakville is right now, so they're still playing for playoff hopes. What do you feel like you guys have to do against specifically Cobourg the next 2 days? Because again, you got to play them in Cobourg tomorrow to be able to get out with at least one win, maybe two.
I think a big thing is just keeping a level head, especially when you're playing a game against the same team back to back. Just keep going shift after shift and keep doing the small things.
Now, just to end it off with something you kind of focus on, what does it feel like tonight for you is the most important thing?
I think just keeping confidence. The same thing goes for basically the whole offensive group. Just keep shooting, keep doing our thing, and I think we'll have success.
Thank you so much, Jonathan Petchko of the MSL North Stars.
Thank you very much.
And we're right back with me and Steve for the rest of our second intermission festivities after this.
Hi, I'm Tiffany James, the host of Her Story. Join us on Rogers TV as I interview various women in our community on how they found success in their own way.
We're taking this global. The toughest competition in sports is back. With the most international group of warriors ever. 16 mixed martial artists from 14 countries face off.
I don't care how light it is.
You're fighting each other for what?
For a shot at UFC glory. And women's flyweight champion Alexa Grasso and former champion Valentina Shevchenko guiding them on their quest. It's the new season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Yes!
Unbelievable.
I walk for my partner who is on dialysis.
I walk in memory of my dad.
I walk for all those waiting for a kidney transplant.
I walk because I live with kidney disease. When you participate in the Kidney Walk or support someone who does, you're taking steps and providing hope to thousands of Canadians living with kidney disease. Behind every step, there's someone we walk for.
Who will you be walking for?
Who will you be walking for?
Who will you be walking for?
Register or donate at kidneywalk.ca.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
Welcome back here to the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center. Spencer Byers alongside me, Steve McCarthy. And Steve, I know we talk a lot about the transition play of your team, sometimes the defensive lapses of your team, but I think right now with this being the last home game, 2-game winning streak, you finally get your first couple wins of the MSL season, of the new iteration of the Owen Sound team. I think we should talk about the positive of the development of your team, because again, they started this season rough, obviously, and obviously having to play Brooklyn and Six Nations isn't great, but now being able to have 2 wins, playing against Cobourg and picking with this Cobourg team, I think is very awe-inspiring and very important.
Yeah, I mean, for us to be able to play on a par with a club like Cobourg, who approximately 10 years ago moved from Kitchener to Cobourg, you know, so they've got at least a 10-year head start on the development of a franchise, and yeah, so I mean, that's what we're looking to do, is kind of push ourselves up the rung, and you know, we were able to move past Brampton, who had kind of a head start on us for a year, and these guys are the next ones sort of in our sights, and you know, we'll have a good idea at the end of this weekend where we stand.
And we'll see where you stand going into the second period. We'll be right back with the last break before the second period here on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Sarah Carmichael. Thank you so much for joining us this season on Great County Life. Thank you to all of our amazing guests for being a part of our program. We are going to be taking the summer off, and we'll see you in September.
We're taking this global. The toughest competition in sports is back. With the most international group of warriors ever. 16 mixed martial artists from 14 countries face off.
I don't care how light it is. You're fighting each other for what?
For a shot at UFC glory. And women's flyweight champion Alexa Grasso and former champion Valentina Shevchenko guiding them on their quest. It's the new season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Yes!
Unbelievable. The world's most famous Canadian, Grey Owl, just back from a triumphant British tour, is to be a reluctant guest at a gathering of First Nations.
Archie, you may not realize this, but right now you are the most famous Red Indian in the world. These are your people. You have to be there. Come on, Harold, let's go.
Sure, I'm sure. His name is Archie Bellini, and if he's a Red Indian, I'm the King of China.
It is an honor to meet the man called Grey Owl, who has brought much respect for our people.
Imposter, rascal, dreamer, and yet the Englishman who called himself Grey Owl awoke the whole world to our vanishing wilderness.
My brother says, men become what they dream. You have dreamed well.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
And welcome back here to the Harriet Lumley Bayshore Community Center. Second period about to get underway between the Owen Sound North Stars and the Cobourg Kodiaks. Owen Sound down 4-3 coming into this second period, as hopefully I'll say better second period than first for Owen Sound, but even with saying that, I think the first period had its moments in favor of Cobourg, but Owen Sound obviously also had their moments, especially on offense and on the power play. I do want to mention, as the period gets underway, if you watch the Senior B game today, they need a Clearview loss or a win tomorrow against Hamilton to clinch the final playoff spot. That ball's fired through and now taken by Caleb Commandant. Webster makes a run in. Webster steps in and just couldn't get that one to go through Watson. And he's slow to get up, is Jackson Webster. As Sykes now with possession. Gives it off there to Saris. Passed across the top now. That shot scores! And Anderson strikes early to make it 5-3 in favor of Cobourg.
Yeah, and again, an outstanding effort by Jackson at one end of the floor, and didn't beat Watson, and then they come down, and first shot in the period again finds its way behind the goaltender here in Owen Sound. And again, these are things that can really sway momentum against a young team and a veteran team for that matter. So they're going to want to answer back and answer quickly.
Gustafson wins that one back. I will mention that the starter of the Senior B game here tonight for Owen Sound is the backup, Ethan Woods. As now Owen Sound gets their first offensive possession as Peshko played it down for Kulis. Back up forward McNabb. Peshko. Actually, that was Brown, but now Peshko over the top. Peshko right into the chest there of Watson as backtracking there was Cecile. Now a chance for the white shirts.
Yeah, that was a great look by Peshko, but he, again, he could have walked right down Main Street there and chose to pull up and shoot, and he kind of got a big piece of Joel Watson.
Nice move there, in shot, that's a save by Martin. Martin thinking about firing it, thinks better of it, and hands it off. Cecile rushing up the floor. Cecile, free chance to shoot, and puts it wide, and it's touched by Cobourg, so it wouldn't be over and back, but now Cobourg with a chance to rush the other way. Pouliot will wait for some offensive options to make the way on the floor. I'll quickly mention that Clearview and the Brooklyn Merchants, big game for the Senior B North Stars, are tied currently at 3-all in the first period down in Stainer. That pass down to the middle. Nice save there by Martin as the shooter got held up there by Hayden Summers-Thompson. Ball does come loose and Summers-Thompson picks it up and is trying to make his way down the floor. That 8-second violation may have been closer than once imagined. That ball's whacked out of Summers-Thompson's stick by Aaron Woods and goes into the rafters, and that's a possession change in favor of Cobourg.
Yeah, he's got to find some open space there. He kind of let up once he got to center, and you know, the Cobourg defender stayed with it and you know, takes the ball back.
That shot goes wide of Martin as it will skip, I believe, over the halfway line, and it does. They're saying they're touched, but no, they won't. Finally blow it for over and back. And now possession will go to Owen Sound, but they're going to get forced and might lose it here.
Again, just you don't pick up the ball when you're in a bunch of trees there. You can't, you know, so you got Jackson, Webster complaining to the referees, but this game is, as soon as you pick it up, it's blowing in. They don't give you the 9 feet. You got to make sure that if you want to wait and ask for it, then ask for it.
That shot goes wide. Saris just couldn't retrieve it. He does end up picking it up after he deflected it into the boards. Being traced though by Halls. Thompson now looking to fire. He will, right into the chest there of Martin. Great rebound save there as that ball just scooted its way to Phoenix. But a possession change back in favor of Cobourg as they steal the breakout pass away.
Again, this is the third offensive set they've had on this. They've been able to get a change in because Owen Sound's inability to pick up a loose ball.
Save there by Martin. That one trapped in the restricted area as it will now go the other way as some jostling in the back there of the Owen Sound end. Commandant plays it over for Jake McNabb. McNabb will cruise his way around. McNabb will get over the top. McNabb looking to fire it. That's a good save there by Watson. That ball bounces right around the restricted area, and now Cobourg will come away with it. Jacobs will pass it forward.
Yeah, it's a good look if you score, but with 20 seconds left in the shot clock, you get a chance to things to develop there, and
that shot saved there by Martin. Good attempt there by Saris.
And again, just Swiss cheese. And when you start talking about the Owen Sound defense here tonight, they have been atrocious in their own end defending two-man games, and they're really going to have to pick it up because Cobourg has some guys who can put the ball in the net.
Peshko takes a couple healthy whacks, gives it off now. Elijah Brown for Webster. Peshko now for Dante Kulis. Kulis just trying to find a lane, couldn't find a lane and lost it in the end. And now there's some jawing there in the Cobourg end as Kulis and Grennan jaw. Played down now by Haley. Looking to fire, they do. That ball just goes wide and now is retrieved by the North Stars. And away goes Jamie Hunt. And Hunt rushing down the floor. Hunt may have a chance to shoot. Hunt does! And scores! Jamie Hunt with his first MSL goal of this season. His first point of the season. And Hunt makes it a one-goal game.
And a big goal there to sort of get them back into this by Jamie Hunt, who is certainly more of a stay-at-home defender. But he really turned the Jets on. He didn't let anybody catch him, and I think they didn't expect him to shoot. And he did a great job depositing the far side on Joel Watson, who kind of overplayed his short side. So great on Jamie Hunt to make sure he found it and found a hole and put it in.
You know what's great, Steve? He's the last name on the stat sheet. It's Pouliot. Now the other way, saved by Caleb Martin just. As now the other way will come Owen Sound. He's the last name on the stat sheet for Owen Sound. It's now quickly the other way. Halls, that shot saved by Watson as it goes high into the netting.
Yeah, great look there. And again, it just shows you how quick things can happen in transition. Owen Sound scores one. Cobourg goes right down off the draw and almost scores, and then Owen Sound on the rebound comes down and almost scores. So both teams are not going to be happy with
that ball's blocked by Stone Jacobs, but he didn't know where it was, so Peshko retrieves it. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Up now for Webster, who fires it right into the net there of Watson. That ball scoots out of his area, so he can't retrieve it. And now away is going to come Cobourg. As Ellerton hands it off now to Sykes. Sykes down to the opposite corner. He goes for a change. Saris right across. Thompson now for Anderson. That one is saved there by Caleb Martin. Webster. Now given off to Koulis from Blumbergs. Now there for Elijah Brown. Stick lost there for a Cobourg defender. Pass down now for Blumbergs. Blumbergs trying to make his way through. He does. Blumbergs just couldn't get around though. Blumbergs may just have to fire there off for Koulis. Koulis will have to fire. He can't, and that will be the shot clock.
Yeah, again, there's just an inability to get inside. They're just standing around off ball, watching the ball carrier, not working hard enough off ball to get open. So again, this is something that's going to have to change.
And stolen now by Millsap. Millsap quickly up the floor, and away will go. Oh, it's down. Great save there, and the stick by Watson on Will Cecile.
Yeah, Will's got to not go for the 5-hole. The big rig, Joel Watson, is really adept at keeping that stick down between his legs. You got to kind of go up and down the sides of him.
And that shot goes wide there as Thompson now retrieves it. Thompson to make his way towards that. He goes back. Anderson, nice spin, scores! David Anderson gets his second, and it was a beauty as he did a complete 360 to get around the defender.
Well, again, that just goes to show you how important it is to pick up loose balls. It's just really an individual effort. And as you'll see, he goes the loose ball right here, and he just walks his, I think it was Summers Thompson that just, was like he wasn't even there. He got turnstiled, and again, you just have to have contain in those scoring areas. So you don't see Owen Sound getting looks like that, so you can't be giving them up.
Gossis is not the one taking the face-off. It actually is Jamie Hunt who technically won it, but wasn't able to gain back possession. Is now up the floor will go Phoenix. Phoenix fires it back. As now the Kodiaks will get their offensive guys on the floor. And again, the Kodiaks, if they do make the playoffs, will have the pleasure of facing off against the Six Nations Chiefs, who are still undefeated. And that shot right across, I believe Martin got a piece of it. He did.
And again, just
pass into the middle, nobody home, but does get across to Saris, back up for Grennan. Grennan trying to make his way around, plays it off. Thompson, back for Anderson, never got there. There's a chance for Owen Sound to break, and they do. And a chance to go, command it, down the floor, command it. Great save there, as command it gets thrown into the boards late. Nothing as he's slow to get up.
Like again, that's
so Owen Sound's not going to be late changing because of that. So 5-on-3 or 5-on-4 chance. Good save there by Caleb Martin as he'll trap it in behind his net.
I mean, that was just an atrocious missed call down there. I mean, Commandant had full steam ahead. It let the shot go, then takes a check from behind and into the boards, and he's lucky he slid prior to going in there. So again, if they're going to be consistent, just don't be calling a cheap one going the other way next time.
Peshko plays it through with Webster, and now retrieved there by Ellerton. Is again some more jawing, as now the other way goes Minicello, and it's saved there by Martin.
Oh, and then,
and it is a reset there. I think you were going to comment they were going to call that one because that was not as egregious as going the other way. But in fairness, they keep it even.
Yeah, and, you know, if it would have been called, it might have been the right call. I mean, it was a little bit late as well, but, yeah, it's just, again, the players are looking for consistency as the coaching staff and the fans and even the announcers.
As Grennan, nice move there. It's thrown down and cut up high with Tyler Halls. And
that is not.
And we're going to get, I think, a chance to look at that. It's some jawing goes behind the net and drops the gloves. And here go the helmets. It's going to be a fight. And it's Noah Millsap taking on Grennan. And Grennan's going to throw some knucks there at Millsap, who hasn't gotten a chance to set his feet yet. And he'll now go to the ground as Caleb Martin tries to get out of the way. And we're going to get a chance to relook at this one as Halls is back up, thank goodness. Grennan will go to the locker room. He's already got 2 tonight, but that might be his night with the fight with Millsap. And we'll get a chance to see here on the replay.
Well, again, Grennan's a tough guy. He doesn't appear to be.
You see there, got thrown down by, actually looks like.
That was hair wires on a very, I mean, how that's not a penalty, let alone possession, is somewhat astonishing. I guess for a lot of people watching lacrosse for the first time, they would be even more perplexed. But nonetheless, yeah. So I mean, you'll see 2 guys exit the floor because of that. But how there wasn't a call on the infraction against Halls is tough to stuff. The fact that it was a high hit to the head. I mean, it wasn't that it was just interference, but it was a shot to the head, which, you know, they talk about.
Ooh, and the coaches are barking at each other now. And I'm not sure what's going on there. Is Adam Jones is barking at I don't exactly know who.
I think that might be Daryl Gibson over there. They might have.
And you see Adam Jones red in the face a little bit there from the screaming match going between the benches. I will mention that it took me a second there to spit out Adam Jones as a former St. Mary's student. And yes, I do mean former, as I do have a diploma to prove I graduated. He is Mr. Jones to me, as I still call him that when I see him down around the floor. And he still tells me I can call him Adam now, but it just feels uncomfortable, Steve. Just feels uncomfortable. As Grennan does get a minor.
So he's probably getting a minor for the face mask or perhaps the instigator. But yeah, going back to that play on Tyler Halls, it's just, you know, the fact that it's a headshot right in front of the referee and no call other than possession is, it's just, you know, when they talk about wanting to protect the players and, you know, stay away from blind side hits and unnecessary hits to the head, that's just a bit of a head scratcher. But anyways, we'll see how they fare here on the power play.
Owen sounds pretty good on the power play tonight. Aaron Wood sitting for 2 or less there on the minor. Peshko is going to fire it off, I believe, the post, but now away will go the Kodiaks. Peshko's got to get back now as he chases the Kodiaks. That shot right into the net. Rebound, that definitely grabbed in the area. Still saved by Caleb Martin. I know it doesn't count on the score sheet as a shot because the whistle would have went from stealing the ball in the restricted area, but what a sprawl there by Caleb Martin.
Yeah, he really he shut the door there, and good on Caleb coming back with a couple of real big saves, and just when the Owen Sound really needs it here.
Peshko plays it down, now McNabb with it. McNabb going to fire, kind of got grabbed as he fired, so he wasn't able to get any much power on it. Webster, Peshko fires it wide, and it will go all the way down to the Owen Sound end.
And again, they're just a little discombobulated here in the power play, not really looking to run much. And again, the story of their offense tonight has been settling for perimeter. And again, it's a lot easier to do when you're on the power play because you do get that 3-on-2 up at the top of the box. But nonetheless, if you're going to shoot from there, you better hit the net. Because they're probably going to get one more possession out of this situation.
That is what it looks like. That shot saved there by Caleb Martin, but they lose the ball, so now Anderson will get it back and have a chance to kill most of what's left here of the power play.
Yeah, these are just killers when it comes to a power play. When you can't, with the extra man advantage, take possession of those rebounds and loose balls.
Anderson trying to get around the litany of black shirts in front of him. He may just chew up the rest of this time and fire it low. They play it across now to Thompson. Thompson, as that will be a possession change in favor of Owen Sound, as guys go flying everywhere. This will be the last chance for Owen Sound. They have 20 seconds left here in the power play. That almost got stolen by Stone Jacobs. Webster, Peshko. McNabb, Webster, nice move. I thought it was a pass, but it looked like a shot. It is now Elijah Brown for Peshko. Penalties have about to expire. That shot by Brown, good save there, as Brown's able to kind of retrieve it for the second. Webster's able to block it, and Brown's able to pick it back up, lose it, picked back up by Webster, who just jostles it to Elijah Brown. McNabb now, back down. That's a good save. Rebound. Brown will think better of it with now back to 5-on-5 and back to a possession clock in favor of Owen Sound. Webster fires. Good save there by Watson.
Again, if you're going to rely on 30, 40, 50-foot shots, you better be pinpoint on. And there a lot of them are just hitting Joel Watson here tonight. And he's got great rebound control and smothering them in the crease and moving them ball back up the other way. You've seen a lot more movement on the Kodiaks side of the ball.
That one, Hairwire scores, but he stepped in before he fired. I do agree with that whistle, as now we'll go the other way for Webster.
Again, you have to defend better.
Webster down for Moran. Good save there. Rebound picked up by Koulis. Dante Koulis. Now back for Peshko, who gives it back over for Koulis. Koulis gets the screen from Peshko, has to give it off though to Brown as he never got any space. Down for Moran. Moran up now for Koulis, who fires it. It gets blocked. Brown picks it back up. Brown will just scoot it behind the net as he still can't get out, and now a helmet gets ripped off there of Webster. So away it looks to go Jonah Bohm. And I think Webster's going to go too. No, he's just picking up his bucket. He's just picking up his bucket. I thought he was just going to pick up his bucket there for a second, but I was worried they were going to somehow give Webster a minor on that. We'll see if we have a replay of what exactly just happened as poor Webster's bucket just got forcibly removed. You see there an extra whack the other way, and then grabs a hold of it and makes sure he got rid of it. As it's a 2-minute minor there as both goalies will now go for their water break as again, it is rather smoldering here in the Bruce Gray area. 27 last time I checked, could be down to as low as maybe 25, but still for us country folk, it ain't exactly cool here in the Scenic City. I know for somebody like you, Steve, down in the GTA, 25's, we're going to the gravel beach.
Yeah.
It's a roughing call going against Bohm and the Kodiaks. As other chance the power play of Owen Sound to get something done. They weren't able to get any on the last opportunity, but have gotten a couple markers here tonight on the man advantage. McNabb. Over now for Brown. Peshko. That was Moran. Brown and Peshko make a pass. That shot saved there by Watson, and should be there is McNabb. Hasn't retrieved it just yet, and now will before he gets to the center line, but gets to the fresh shot clock anyway. So it wouldn't have been an over and back because it was deflected before it was retrieved by Owen Sound in the end. Peshko back down for McNabb. McNabb across. Brown just couldn't retrieve that one, but Moran's able to pick it back up. Peshko. Brown. Shot it from an odd angle, and where's that ball? It's inside, I believe, of Watson. No, it was just outside the post.
Again, with 2 or 3 seconds to go on a shot clock, that might be something to look at, but not with 13 seconds to go. I mean, this power play has just been very stagnant tonight. Not a lot of crisp ball movement, not a lot of great execution. So they're getting opportunities, but they're going to have to start making something of them.
And it feels like the second period, Steve, was flown by.
Yeah, I mean,
as there's only 6:30 left in it, and it's only 8:03. So we've only been, in almost 40 minutes, or 34 minutes of game time. We've only had an hour so far game.
Again, their inability to defend on the power while they're on the power play when they add the extra guys, resulting in a secondary ball control here by Kodiaks, and the power play will pretty much be over here.
And some more shoving. There's going to be some grabbing there as Hairwires grabs a hold of the bucket and is trying to rip it off there of Caleb Commandant, and they're going to go. Finally, and Hairwires pulled off his own bucket, which is illegal. And he's waiting, and there they go. Hairwires, and some big shots there as Hairwires got the jersey. Trying to pull it off. He does. Jersey's now off. Some blood going for Hairwires as they keep chucking. And the referee's letting them go. Commandant still throwing, and down they go. So there's a second fight, and again, Steve, these two teams have a second game tomorrow night in Cobourg as a way will go commandant as they come to clean up some of the blood around the eye of Zach Hairwires. And I'm not sure where he got cut. It must have been the equipment that got him.
Well, I think he got Caleb Commandment. When he hit him with that first overhand, he really stunned him. And he caught him up over the eye there.
Well, I can tell you Tetsuya Yamada is in the building. He's played one game for the MSL team. He's in a cast right now. But the reason why I mentioned Tetsuya, not only because I told him how to watch the game live, but I also want to mention that my second favorite boxer on earth is Japanese, I think, bantamweight Naoya Inoue, and that right hand and that blood is Naoya Inoue-esque.
Well, again, Caleb Commandment is a pretty strong guy in a small package, and Zach Hairwires is a veteran guy, and he kind of rangy and always plays aggressive on the O side of the ball. And obviously, he probably took a look and figured that there's not much to this kid. I'm going him, and he found out in a hurry that sometimes big things come in small packages.
We'll see how the penalty shake out, because I believe they were going to call an initial penalty against Hairwires for the shot to the head on the punch just before the whistle was blown. And you got to hope for both teams, Steve, again, with a game going on tomorrow, that, the rough stuff maybe settles down a little bit. You'll get a chance to see my interview with Cobourg Kodiaks league point getter Braden Saris. You already got a chance to see my interview with Jonathan Peshko of the North Stars there in that first intermission. And I asked both guys about having to play a team twice in 2 days. And I believe it was Saris who said, you got to keep a cool head because, tempers can flare when you play a team back-to-back nights. And we've already seen tempers flare. 5-minute major up on the board there for Hairwires. I wonder if that's removing his own bucket, because that is illegal. You mentioned that last time we saw a fight because the player did the same thing and wasn't called for removing his own bucket. As right now, the Kodiaks are getting the explanation here from the referees, and they don't exactly look impressed of the calls here.
Well, I mean, the one thing to consider here is they've done an extremely good job holding Owen Sound power play to almost nothing. So they've had the better scoring opportunities, even though they've been on the man down. So you can certainly expect the next call to come against the North Stars, no doubt. And, the North Stars have been given an opportunity here. They're going to have a 5-on-3 for 31 seconds, and then, then they'll have 4.5 minutes on a major penalty where they can get 2 goals. So, they're going to need to really put the pedal to the metal here, and don't take anything for granted, because this isn't the time to let up. This is the time to go full bore.
Well, we'll see what they do here. I assume it looks like Tyler Hall is going to start with it, so it will look to be a 4-on-3 chance here for Owen Sound, with Halls playing in the neutral zone and trying to make sure that ball stays in the offensive end, especially with that over and back rule in effect at all times. Buzzer here from the scores table, so obviously they want a conversation with one of the referees here to figure out what exactly is going on, I think.
And I think what you're going to find here is if Owen Sound started the night with only 17 runners, but the Kodiaks only had 16, and now the Kodiaks have lost 3 players through ejections, and Owen Sound 2, and so through attrition, you've got only 14 runners now on the Kodiak side here, and that certainly, could come into play in a hot night with some fatigue. They don't have a full complement of players, so.
Brown, McNabb, Brown, McNabb trying to get around, McNabb back for Webster. Webster will fire it. That's a great save, but Peshko picks it back up. 17 seconds left here on the penalty that looked to be Bohm. 8 seconds now left in that Bohm minor. That shot scores! Tyler Brown before the penalty expired. So now it'll be 5-on-4 in favor of Owen Sound for a full 4:34 or unless Owen Sound can score 2 goals, which would mean, Steve, if they scored the 2 goals in the 5-minute major, which will then cancel out the power play, they're up by 1.
Yeah, and also that 5-minute penalty, whoever it is, I guess it's number 45. Although I don't know why they're not making somebody. I guess there's
somebody in the box. I couldn't see the number as of yet, but Phoenix picks up the ball off the face-off, and Phoenix run into the offensive zone down the man. Hayden Summers-Thompson was the one watching him as Ellerton plays it across. Ellerton played down now. That shot bounced wide and will scoot to center floor, and that will be an over and back. It looked close. I wasn't exactly sure where his foot landed as I'm a little off center. You're probably a little closer to center than I am. That's now McNabb. Peshko, McNabb. Webster, McNabb, Peshko, fires it through the net there. Pick back up Webster, McNabb, Jackson Webster, Jake McNabb, right into the net there, Watson. As away is gonna go the Kodiaks and Nick Ellerton. Ellerton over. That's now Saris. Being watched, plays it down now. Nice move there, and they score! And it's a shorty for the Kodiaks.
That was just a poor defense there. Jonathan Peshko stayed on to play defense, and again, you cannot give guys time and space, and you pay the price for it. And he was, too much room here, and he just walks them.
And now I'd assume that's pronounced Curtis.
That's Curtis Romanchuk, who's a backdoor defender. Who obviously showed a little bit of skill and finish on that. But, irregardless who you're out there against, you can't give them that time and space. So to have a shorthanded goal against you on a 5-minute major is just a real momentum killer.
That is Romacic. As Webster played a little past the parcel there with Tyler Brown. McNabb. Back there for Peshko, just had a hold of it, but now only 10 to work. Webster, Peshko walks into it. That's a good save off the shoulder. And now it will come the Kodiaks, blocked though by Peshko in the offensive end, and it'll just have to be fired, but caught there as Blumbergs knocked it free somehow there of Stone Jacobs. He kind of wanted to call there, but didn't get one.
Again, he was very close.
And that ball almost skipped through McNabb, was able to retrieve it.
You just get on top of his stick and don't allow him to catch it. Don't react after the fact.
Pass across there to McNabb. McNabb now for Brown. Brown will score! Tyler Brown with a second straight brings them back within 1. 2:15 left in the 5-minute major. If they score another to tie it, that will elapse the rest of that power play.
And again, great look by Tyler Brown, and he scored some nice goals this year for Owen Sound after being picked up from actually the Hamilton Senior B Club, who acquired him through a roundabout way through the Six Nations Rivermen and the Clearview Senior B Club, but the Crushers. But nonetheless, they got that one back. Now they're gonna get the last one. A great draw by Mitch.
And again, still on the power play, our Owen Sound, as now Webster. Back for Brown, he's got 2 in a row. Brown now over for McNabb. McNabb for Brown. Cross for McNabb. Peshko, back for Tyler Brown, and again, that one just goes wide, and it's caught on the carom. Romancic, and now away will go Ellerton and the Kodiaks. Still have about a minute and a half of penalty to kill. (4-3) we came in favor of the Kodiaks. That ball's given away to Peshko. Peshko will make his way up the floor. He's got a runner in front in Blumbergs. Doesn't end up giving it off to Blumbergs. He'll just walk it in. Wait for his power play mates to make it. Webster, Peshko, McNabb. Peshko, Webster, Peshko, Webster. Peshko, that shot saved there by Watson. Died right in front. And Minicello gets stuck there with the referee and plays it forward, but airmailed it because of the referee, you'd think. And now taken away by Summers Thompson. McNabb walking into this one. McNabb will fire it off the crossbar, I think. I'm not sure if Watson ended up making the save.
Watson got his arm out there, and
McNabb again, looking to fire, doesn't end up getting away with it. Peshko back now, that shot Webster, good save there by Watson. That ball blocked again by McNabb, but couldn't see it to the referee, and now it will come the Kodiaks. And that will be the rest of the minor.
So they were able to chip away and get one off of those opportunities, and it's a shame they let the short-handy go, but again, they got to buckle down here, a minute and a half to go, and don't allow anything.
That shot doesn't end up getting to Martin. 4 seconds now left in the shot clock. That shot also doesn't get towards, or get on to Martin, as that shot also wide of Martin as the minor ends, and Anderson will be released from the box, serving the hair wires penalty. I will also mention that you mentioned that both teams are kind of short runners right now. Zach Hairwires played already played today, so tired legs. He would have been extremely tired legs.
Well, we got 3 guys on Owen Sound that played in the first game.
That is also true, as that shot is saved there by Watson. Peshko with the shot opportunity. So that's now under a minute to go here in the second. Thompson now trying to make his break for it. That shot saved there by Martin. Ball bouncing as Halls make his run now. Maybe the last possession of the period. Halls runs it into the offensive zone, looking for an option, and we'll take the timeout. Will Owen Sound. 4 seconds separate shot clock and game clock as the timeout is taken by Coach Adam Jones. And you gotta assume with that, Steve, Caleb Martin will take his exit of stage left.
Yeah.
At least for hopefully the rest of the second period.
It's probably a good chance, although they may decide just to try to call something. I mean, I'd certainly probably look, even though they're short on lefties, to stack up the left side and only go with 2 righties and create a little bit of opportunity for Peshko to get a one-on-one, or to be able to draw the double and find an open guy, because he's certainly a tall guy with a lot of athleticism, can shoot the ball from a lot of different angles, as we saw last week against Oakville, where he was by far the best player on the floor. And tonight he really hasn't got on track. He certainly picked up a couple apples along the way, but he hasn't really had a lot of dangerous scoring opportunities, and this would be a perfect opportunity to try to utilize his one-on-one strengths. So it looks like they're going to leave Caleb Martin in. It might not even be a bad idea to have Caleb sort of hover around the top here, and
just in case it gets to halfway.
Well, yeah, not only that, it's just to put that seed in Cobourg's mind that maybe he is coming, and it might force them to sort of be less aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. But they are going to go with just the 2 righties. And
Brown looks for Moran, gives it off to Carter Moran, who comes across the top. Down now for Peshko, as you mentioned. Peshko trying to get across the top as well. Have to make a swim move. He does. Might not be able to fire it, though. Great shot there. Good, better save. Moran couldn't retrieve it, but that will be the period. A great pass there by Peshko to get it to McNabb, but just could not beat Watson, as 7-6 in favor of the away side as we go into the third, potentially final period. Entered 4-3, exit 7-6 as Cobourg maintains their 1-goal lead.
Yeah, so I mean, again, both teams are certainly in this game. Cobourg with the upper hand and getting a strong goaltending performance from Joel Watson. Caleb Martin made some usual sensational saves that period as well. So, it's anybody's game here. And again, if Owen Sound can really make Cobourg work, being on the short end of the runners may fatigue them a little more, and it might affect Owen Sound.
Well, just before we go, Steve, I do want to mention quickly, I would make a quick summation that a lot better second period than first in favor of Owen Sound.
Yeah, again, there are just a couple lackadaisical situations on the defensive side led to a short-handed goal and a transition goal, but they had the benefit of being on the power play for quite a bit of that period. So if the situation continues to favor them in that regard, they're going to need to make sure that they have a much better than 40 or 50% success rate on the power play.
That is for sure. We'll be right back with my interview with Kodiak leading point getter Braden Saris after this on MSL Lacrosse, Rogers TV.
Are you the type who would keep going or stop? It's not easy to stop when you have an addiction. Legalizing cannabis won't stop addiction. It trivializes its consumption. Let's be vigilant. If you need help, visit portage.ca.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking. Thank you for watching us in our 23-24 season, and come back in the fall where we'll have more conversation. Have a safe summer.
The toughest competition in sports is back. With the most international group of warriors ever. 16 mixed martial artists from 14 countries face off.
I don't care how light it is. You're fighting each other for what?
For a shot at UFC glory. And women's flyweight champion Alexa Grasso and former champion Valentina Shevchenko guiding them on their quest. It's the new season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Yes!
Unbelievable.
Baking for Change is coming this fall, and I'm your host, Wendy Pauls. We'll feature some of Canada's best bakers like Jen and Astor, sharing their favorite recipes. And you can bake along with us at home, while supporting refugee youth like Crystal. And the amazing work of UNICEF Canada.
Check for days and times.
On Rogers TV.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Welcome back here to the Bayshore First Intermission. Spencer Byers alongside me, Braden Saris. Braden, your team is 4-6 right now on the year. You're right now in a playoff spot. What exactly is the expectation going into the last two games against Owen Sound?
Yeah, obviously I think just continuing to mesh as a team, come together. A lot of our first times playing together, so just follow coach's game plan and hopefully come out with a win, but ultimately just preparing for playoffs.
For sure, and again, you guys play back-to-back here against Owen Sound, so I kind of have to be careful here with the tempers, especially with you guys going into the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. They're a great team. We're going to give them our best, and like I said, just listen to coach's game plan and hopefully come out with a win.
Now, Owen Sound comes in on a 2-game winning streak into tonight, but let's go back to your season. Right now, you're leading your team in points by quite a bit, quite a ways currently. What has led to your success so far this year in the MSL?
I think, like I said at the beginning, just taking the opportunity to play at the next level, and I mean, playing with some guys that have played pro, it's just great for my own game, getting to learn from them, and they've been a great help, teaching me the new stuff and helped me get used to senior, so it's been good.
Now again, you guys are currently tied with The Rock, looking right now up at, of course, Six Nations and Brooklyn. Is there exactly like a matchup you guys prefer, or is it just whoever you get?
I think it's whoever we get. We're just excited for the opportunity to play in the playoffs and looking forward to whoever. All
right, thank you so much, Braden Saris of the Cobourg Kodiaks.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with the rest of our first intermission with me and Steve after this.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
We're taking this global. The toughest competition in sports is back. With the most international group of warriors ever. 16 mixed martial artists from 14 countries face off.
I don't care how light it is.
You are fighting each other for what?
For a shot at UFC glory. And women's flyweight champion Alexa Grasso and former champion Valentina Shevchenko guiding them on their quest. It's the new season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Yes!
Unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will endeavor to describe the feeling on this ship.
The American ship is just trailing the Blue Nose.
Angus should never have agreed to this last race. She's too old.
That it!
Thompson, halyard back! Get to it, Matt!
Appears there's some kind of difficulty.
There seems to be something loose up there, I believe.
Thompson's foul!
I can't see a man.
Just once more, little girl. And you can rest.
She's holding her lead.
Her last race and still undefeated, the Blue Nose out of Lunenburg, Nova Scotia was fastest in the world for almost 20 years.
I'm Carol Merton. Please join me for HealthLink, a program connecting home, community, and healthcare. Please join me and watch HealthLink on Rogers TV.
Back here to the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center, and on top of what would be the J.D. McCarthy Arena. 7-6 in favor of the away side, in favor of the Cobourg Kodiaks over the Owen Sound North Stars here in the final home game of the MSL season. They will play one more game down in Cobourg tomorrow night, just after the Senior Bees and their season against Hamilton here at home. That will be here on Rogers TV, not by our crew, but by the Your TV crew down in Cobourg. So definitely watch that one right after the Senior B game tomorrow at 4 o'clock against the Hamilton Bengals to end the Senior B season. I haven't had a chance to look at the Clearview game against the Merchants. Last time I checked, it was 7-5 in favor of the Merchants. 8-6 now as Mark Perry gives me the quick update. So 8-6 in favor of the Merchants. So right now, Owen Sound is in line to lock up the number 4 spot and take on we'll take on the Rivermen if that is how things shape up. But with that, we're right back with the third and potentially final period between the Kodiaks and the North Stars here on Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Tiffany James, the host of Her Story. Join us on Rogers TV as I interview various women in our community on how they found success in their own way.
We're taking this global. The toughest competition in sports is back. With the most international group of warriors ever. 16 mixed martial artists from 14 countries face off.
I don't care how light it is.
You are fighting each other for what?
For a shot at UFC glory. And women's flyweight champion Alexa Grasso and former champion Valentina Shevchenko guiding them on their quest. It's the new season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Yes!
Unbelievable.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdsville, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks. And it shattered her world.
Welcome back to the Harry Lumley Bayshore Community Center. 7-6 in favor of the Cobourg Kodiaks over the Owen Sound North Stars. Spencer Byers alongside me, MSL GM Steve McCarthy. And Steve, big third period for your squad. Look to make it 3 in a row in the win column.
Yeah, they're
quickly up the floor though come Cobourg, as they were able to steal the ball right off the face-off, and ooh!
Okay, if they would have called the first one, they wouldn't have had the retaliation, and now that's going to cost, it could very well be a game expulsion there for a penalty occurring in the change zone. So if they would have called the late hit, at least a turnover, possession call, that would be fair game.
Gustafson's going to go to the box. We'll see if we have a good replay, because I didn't see it. I was watching the ball on the far end.
Yeah, he gave a little shove there as the player was exiting the floor. And,
As you can tell there, if you're good at lip reading, Gustafson obviously not happy with that call.
No, but I mean, he was knocked to the floor after he had turned over the ball into the boards, and it would have been easy enough.
And they're going to send him.
And again, so this is just inconsistency when it comes to refereeing. And not that the call on Mitch isn't the correct call, but the letting the late stuff go and not thinking there might be retaliation coming at some point. And you can't, it's frustrating for players. And now we're going to see one lose their opportunity to play.
And Moran's going to be the one going to serve the Gustafson major, or at least expulsion.
Yeah, well, and again, which really hurts Owen Sound. Mitch is one of their better defenders.
And they're
certainly in the inside game. But he's a dominant draw guy. And, Jamie Hunt comes in and certainly does an admirable job filling in when Gussie's a little winded or been on a long shift. But now you're going to give up a power play and lose your key draw guy.
Saris. Cobourg now a chance to go back up by 2. Right across top, Saris will fire it. It goes wide, and that will be an over and back. But running quickly after goes Cecile. Will Cecile have a chance, but will think better of it and rope around.
Yeah, he was probably just a second too late to be able to get an angle there. He was on his wrong side and probably thought a little bit about it and decided that wasn't probably the best plan. And to chew off 30 seconds would be a better idea.
Especially early in this third period, still only down by 1. You can always fight for another goal. You really don't want to allow another one as Dante Koulos make his break for it. That ball goes wide. Webster might not be able to fire it. I don't think he was, technically speaking, but they're going to say he shot it before. And Cello plans it off now to Haley. Saris. Sykes, Saris, now for Anderson, down for Haley. That's a good save there by Caleb Martin.
You just see Cobourg just a little bit more mature on the power play here, and they have an idea what they want to do. And
Hall's trying to fight his way through, and Hall's battles through 1, battles through 2. Might lose it here, and he does. Haley will take it away, and a chance for Cobourg to go. Ball kind of late. They do get it though. Phoenix, couple hacks and lost it before he stepped in as he got handcuffed there by Hayden Summers-Thompson.
Yeah, and now they'll have an opportunity. If they can make the successful clear here, they will have a chance to...
Halls will now play it, and it is not an successful clear as Haley will take it away. Haley with a chance to fire, and it's a good save there by Caleb Martin. Phoenix will drop to his knees. He'll pass it over for Haley, who's not able to cleanly retrieve it. As the power play is about to expire, 4 left on it. Fighting for it now in the corner. Ball will come flying out, and that may be an over and back. It is not, as now the back to 5-on-5.
I'm assuming that Owen Sound must have fired that ball down the floor.
Haley now again trying to get through. That ball well wide as the shot clock is going to expire before Thompson's able to get the next effort anywhere near Martin. As now Jamie Hunt will play it forward now as that ball's immediately stolen from Webster. As Stone Jacobs has got two. Jacobs looking for the third, but I thought great play, and it was as he stepped in.
Again, just another lackadaisical play, and Jackson Webster is a key guy to this club, not only offensively, but he plays a great deal at the backside, and you have to have some deception sometimes when you're trying to clear that ball.
Nice pass across, Petchko, great save there by Watson as Kulis got the perfect pass across, and Petchko still being held back there. Moran now trying to get through. Down now for Petchko, and they're going to call it against, I believe, McNabb, and the possession will go the other way.
Again, you just have to pick your spots. You certainly don't whack the stick out of the player right in front of the referee. You got a little bit of momentum going, and just want to keep that train rolling.
Anderson, nice spin. Getting fended off, though, by Summers-Thompson. Anderson, though, trying to find a lane to shoot. Being forced the wrong way by Summers-Thompson. Pass now up there. That shot wide by Sykes, and it hits the Kirk Maltby sign. And now up the floor will come Owen Sound, is being fended off there with Blumbergs. Over now for Cecile, who will hand it off for Webster. Webster looking for Petchko, finally got his head up, so now Petchko will have a chance at it. Petchko back for that looked to be Elijah Brown, now back for Webster. Off now for Tyler Brown, that shot right into the wickets there of Watson, as just couldn't retrieve that one was Greg Elijah Brown.
Yeah, and again, had he been able to pick that up, he might have had a clear lane to the net, and it's something that's been a little bit on the tough side tonight for Owen Sound. They haven't had a lot of luck in loose ball collection, and it's just got to bear down sometimes.
That ball air-mailed over its intended target of Brock Haley. He's able to retrieve it, though, may have a chance to fire here late, but again through the stick there of Sykes, as that will just be lumped into the corner, and a possession change in favor of Owen Sound. As Halls will pick it up. Moran. Over now for Jake McNabb. Down there is some jostling off the ball. Kulis, Webster, McNabb. Trying to get around Ellerton. McNabb, that tried to get to Kulis, but got Cook a couple bumps for his trouble, is now flying down the floor.
That was just
Minicello lost it there, and I think McNabb got to stick to it.
He did. Good for Jake. I mean, he was badly outclassed in the foot speed department there, but he got enough of Minicello. But again, it was just a lame duck pass that resulted in that transition play. And you got to put something on those inside passes.
Now off there for Greg Elijah Brown. Elijah Brown trying to fend his way through. Moran now back for Elijah Brown. Now down for Petchko. Petchko still trying to fend his way towards the net. That's a good save there as Greg Elijah Brown will pick it back up, fire it towards Tyler Brown, and get back possession. As Dante Kulis will make his way back onto the floor. Brown. Now for Petchko. Petchko gets it fired out of his stick. It hits the top of the glass and is taken there by Cobourg.
Well, and there he stepped in the crease there. Good push by Elijah Brown, but the referee didn't think it was back in, so he turned away. But again, Owen Sound just needs to continue to get good possessions and wear this defense down on Cobourg, because again, they're a little bit undermanned here. And
Thompson plays it back now. Sykes shot. I believe that one is saved there by, actually no, I don't believe he actually got there, as now Hall's trying to get through, and they're gonna blow it in favor of Owen Sound as Anderson goes sprawling with Halls. Anderson kind of came up limping after that one. He'll have a chance to sit for 2 or less now if Owen Sound can't score here with the extra guy. Passed over now for McNabb. McNabb back for Brown. Brown will fire. Oh, what a pass! I thought it was a shot. Couldn't get that one across the second time, and almost great passing there from Brown to Kulis to, I believe that would be Moran, but just couldn't complete the last option.
Yeah, Kulis was just a little bit too deep on the crease there to have an angle to fire it in, but Great look by Tyler Brand, and it was there, but you got to release it right away. And I guess he thought he was too deep. Could have looked at putting it off of Joel Watson's back and in the net, but that was probably his only angle.
They call it a slash. They're going against Cobourg as now a little wipe of the floor where Anderson and Halls went sprawling. Another chance for the Owen Sound power play to get themselves back in it. Have struggled in the last couple opportunities, but have had some early success here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they have the shooters that can make it happen, but they have to hit the net, and they have to try not to be doing it from square up against Joel Watson.
Webster got that one stolen away, and away is going to go Webster as he goes for the chase.
Again, you got 2-on-1.
That shot on Martin, deflected though as he shot it, so I'm not sure it had full power on it, but still Martin was forced to make the save, and now possession will stay with Cobourg.
Yeah, and again, just you can't get your passes picked off if you're at the top of the power play. That's a cardinal rule as an offensive player, certainly in a man advantage, and again, it just eats away at your opportunity to score.
Woods plays it down. What a pass! Great save there, I believe, on Saris.
And again, just another not really sticking to your guy, giving up 6 inches is too much to give up in this game with the skilled guys out here.
Especially Braden Saris, who leads the Cobourg Kodiaks in points. Yeah. Aaron Woods now spinning around, trying to find a lane towards the net. 15 left on the shot clock. He's being harassed by two of them black shirts. He passes it down now. That somehow got just through, and that's going to be another possession change back in favor of Cobourg. We're off the rebound.
Yeah, and this has got to be frustrating again as a coaching staff to just watch. You have the extra guy out there, and he's not being utilized. They're getting beat to loose ball. Some of it's luck where the ball ends up, but nonetheless, you got to be able to box out and not let other guys get there.
And down he's going to go. That ball comes loose and away. Could go. Will go Curtis Hall. Curtis Hall. Great save there.
And that'll eat up the rest of the power play. So you've got Cobourg, who's had possession in the last minute and a half of the ball while they're a man down. So
Jacobs.
Valiant effort by Curtis Hall, but he probably put it exactly where Joel Watson baited him to, and going upstairs top corner on Joel is probably not where you want to go.
Jacobs now will just fire it into the rafters as that will now go back to Owen Sound with the 5-on-5 reinstituted. Moran. Tepeshko fired down for Brown. Brown back up now for Webster. Brown. Nice move there by Brown. Will fire it into the wickets there of Watson. That ball bounces behind him, but never makes its way towards the goal line.
No, again, Tyler Brown had a good look there. And kind of hit the goalie, but it did bounce around, ended up behind him, but not enough oomph on it to go over the line. And they continue to get good looks like that. One might drop, but they certainly want to keep stymieing this offense and not giving them anything.
Anderson tries to get around his man. He does. Good save, though, by Curtis Martin. That ball down on the floor. Nice spin there, and away will go Cecile. 3-on-1 chance now for Owen Sound. Cecile trying to make his way around, passes it back, skips through his stick, and doesn't end up getting to its intended target in Max Skeen. And that way will come Pouliot.
And again, this is just being able to execute at this level. And when you get a 3-on-1, 3-on-2, you need to execute. Even regardless if there's 3 defenders on that, you've got to be able to make 2 passes to create a scoring opportunity.
That pass misses his intended target of Brock Haley off the referee as Halls will retrieve it now, and Halls has speed to kill. As the way will go Tyler Halls. Another chance for a rush chance. Quickly off the bench though come the away side. That shot off the post for Tyler Halls and out of play, so it will stay with Owen Sound. Lucky for them because it feels like for the last about 3 or 4 minutes, they haven't had an offensive possession. They've had rush chances, transition chances, but no offensive chances. Halls back for Brown. Brown over for McNabb. McNabb will fire it. It gets blocked before it ever gets there. Picked back up by Jake McNabb. May have to fire again here as he gets forced around by Stone.
He's already turned it over. So now again, Jake's got to get that ball and move it quickly. If the shot isn't there, you got to find one of your teammates, and you can't get caught in the crowd with it because it's going to end up on the floor.
Anderson over for Sykes. Everybody's falling down, and away is going to go Owen Sound. It's Carter Moran, and Moran's quick, but Brock Haley's with him. Stride for stride, Moran! I think that's a great save there by the netminder.
No, he missed the net. There's no shot on goal. So again, they're getting their opportunities here. Cobourg's really gassed, and Owen Sound again has to keep leaning on them on the defensive end and not giving them anything easy. Make them work for everything, and they're not looking to hustle back in transition like they were earlier in the game. So
that shot, good save there by Martin. That ball bounces away, almost retrieved again, but now picked up by Halls. Halls, nice move. Stick lost by Cobourg, as that ball almost handcuffed Max Skeen. He's able to catch it. Skeen off now for Webster. Webster trying to make his way around, back for Tyler Brown. Now that shot bounced into the stick there of Watson.
Yeah, he never saw that, but again, he stepped out to the top of the crease there, and again, they're going to need to get some inside looks here, as I'm sure Joel Watts is feeling a little fatigue as well, as he's leaned up against the goal post there and having a little rest. And you know, with the clock ticking down, it's not in Owen Sound's favor right now, but you know.
That shot from Woods scores through the legs of the defender, which is Austin Blumbergs, and it is now a 2-goal lead for Cobourg with 7:35 left.
That's a killer, and time and time again we talk about getting in the lane, especially late in the shot clock. They get scored on there on a 45-foot shot from the outside. You know, it's a well-placed shot, but that he should never get that shot off. Here he's in contain here, little pick. You can't. You got to go at him, get in the lane, and soak that one. And again, this is for an offense that's really had nothing going for them today. This is going to be a tall task here with 7.5 for Owen Sound, but you know, they have scored in spurts, so they're going to have to do it again.
I'm not sure if Hall's taking this face-off against Phoenix. It looks like he is.
Yeah, and Tyler Hall used to be a real good draw guy. He's played in Rochester in the NLL and had some opportunities as a draw guy. Broke in initially with Vancouver, and yeah, he was a real good draw guy as a junior, and he got beat on that one. He's certainly not in the circle very often, but certainly not a newcomer to the situation.
Sykes now gave it off to Anderson. Goes down to Haley. Brock Haley trying to get his way around. Haley's going to fire it. He got deflected before it ever got close. Anderson now will fire it. Also not close, as that is Jamie Hunt to pick up, and he does. Back now for Halls. Now for Webster. Owen Sound's got to find some offense and find it fast, you'd think. Played back now to Peshko.
It would be a good time for Peshko to get an opportunity to play a little one-on-one.
That shot scores! Jonathan Peshko had his number called, and he answered the phone. Back within one.
And again, that's what he's capable of doing. You know, he just comes around an easy screen, gets the time and space, and Joel Watson didn't even flinch. That ball was by him in a heartbeat. Again, good work off ball. Greg Elijah Brown caused a little traffic, and then it was Jake McNabb with just a little brush there. Number 6, the defender Pouliot was too deep, wasn't able to get out there on top of Peshko, and
Halls loses that one to Phoenix, who runs in. Cobourg now got to find a way to get back that insurance marker here as that ball's passed down. I thought got blocked. It does get across, but misses Woods. Halls, though, hasn't picked it up just yet, and he ran by it. Saris now. Didn't get her first shot clock, though, so they got to fire. Not able to, and that will be the shot clock.
yeah, Tyler, probably knowing it was a little late in the shot clock, wanted to try to get something happening in transition there, but he's got to make sure he comes up with that ball, and they get a good job, though, cutting off Thompson there, not allowing him to get a shot before the clock expired.
Owen Sound now back with a chance to tie it now. Something they haven't been able to do in a while. Peshko back now for Kulis. Kulis off the post! And that should be a reset, and it will be. So no over and back as they retreat.
Yeah, they're going to need to, just...
Kulis now will run it back in. Kulis down for Peshko. Peshko in! Off the post again! Kulis tied up, ball loose. McNabb couldn't retrieve it. White shirts all over it. Sykes will come away.
Yeah, Jake tried to pull that ball out from behind the crowd, and he's just got to put his head down and go right through it and scoop through it, just like he probably teaches all the kids in his lacrosse camp he runs. And
slipped there as he tried to make a move. There was Cobourg. Will fire just wide though was Thompson. As that ball will somehow get passed around there and be picked up by Owen Sound here as Cecile will march his way back in the offensive end, under 5 to go. If we do find ourselves in overtime, it is sudden death, sudden victory overtime, first goal wins. Unlike MSL or Junior B rules if you've watched those broadcasts before. Nice move there by Peshko. Peshko trying to make his way around. Masses up now for Webster. Webster thought about firing, puts it wide, and it missed everybody.
Yeah.
Pouliot making his way on Webster. Webster. Now back for Pouliot. Woods fires it. It got deflected, I believe, before it got to Caleb Martin, and is now trapped inside the restricted areas. Webster will just fire it for Carter Moran, who's wide open on the flank.
Again, they've got Cobourg really on the ropes here. There's not a lot left in those legs. Again, being a little bit short-handed. They just need to clear some space here and get somebody a good look.
Peshko fires it, got handcuffed before he got on target. Peshko now at 8 left to work. That shot from an odd angle doesn't end up getting through either for Greg Elijah Brown. Moran's gonna fire from a mile away. He does, it's deflected, and will be a possession change in favor of Cobourg. Phoenix for Haley. Down for Thompson, or down for Sykes, pardon me. Justin Sykes now out for Brock Haley. Around for Anderson. Played now for Saris, it goes through him, and it will be retrieved by Cecile. Cecile making a run for it. Saris in front. Cecile tried to get to Blumbergs, but couldn't complete the pass as Blumbergs gets forced down. No possession change, surprisingly, as now it will come Cobourg.
Yeah, I mean, that was just probably two guys battling and one slipped. But again, you can't, if you can't make the pass or execute, then don't make the pass.
Haley plays it in front, misses. Picked back up by Sykes. Sykes gets a free run, missed the net. Picked back up by Tyler Halls. Halls is gonna go, trying to get around Woods. He does. Halls will stop up, make a move, and now have a chance to pass it for Moran. Moran waiting for his options to open up. Webster thinks about firing. Nice move. Webster puts it wide. I think it's they got deflected. No. I believe no.
No, he missed the net and going to turn the ball over once again.
2:30 left. Gotta wonder when Caleb Martin will make his run to or mad dash to the bench to get the 6-on-5 chance for the North Stars.
Probably with the 1-goal lead, they'll probably hesitate till hopefully they get it within the last 30 seconds.
Certainly they also held their timeout.
Yeah, they still have a timeout left, so again, Cobourg here is just going to look to really grind this clock down. They're probably looking a little fatigued.
Passed into the middle, it misses. Can Owen Sound retrieve it? The answer is yes, it is just caught there by Blumbergs. Now for Hayden Summers-Thompson, who will wait for some options. Thought about it for a second, and now Peshko.
And again, the Rights just might want to clear out here and give him an opportunity to work.
Peshko now down for Tyler Brown. Brown now for McNabb. McNabb, nice move, McNabb! Great save there by Watson. And I thought it was going to squeak itself through, but it ended up squeaking behind the net.
Again, a good look, but again, you're not going to beat Joel Watson from that angle between the legs. So you got to either reach around or try to get around and get underneath that glove, bring him across the net. So in a minute and a half here, they'll likely get 2 more possessions.
shot from Haley goes wide. It's going to scoot all the way down, so that will be a free possession in favor of Owen Sound deep in the Cobourg end. 1:18 left. Martin will run to the bench with the fresh shot clock and the fresh legs. It's a good chance here for Owen Sound to get this game tied up with 1:18 left in the third period. Webster, Brown, McNabb, Peshko fires it off the shoulder and out of play. Webster. And wait a second here, I think we're gonna do a timeout, and it is timeout taken by Owen Sound here. So with 1:06 left in the third period, Steve, Coach Adam Jones and his staff will try to find a way to get through Watson. Or no, pardon me, is it just a clean?
Okay. I'm thinking, I believe that they're saying that Owen Sound does not have a timeout, so now they're going to forfeit the ball. So.
How is that? I'm not exactly sure what's going on.
Now the referees are going to confirm and do what they should have done in the first place. Is to come over to the timekeeper and see when the last timeout was called. I believe they called one in the second frame.
Yes,
I don't recall anything in the third here.
They called it right at the end of the second period,
Yeah.
about 30 seconds left.
Yeah, so you know, they should have done this in the first place.
Well, with the confusion, I will quickly thank Boston Pizza for tonight's crew refreshments. I know Steve always enjoys the free pizza. You can see them at 1606 16th Street East here in Owen Sound. Call them at 519-370-2003. Website on the screen. They're also on Skip the Dishes. We like to help them because they help us. And I know John Sherry hanging out at camera one will be jacking all the pizza that's left down there in the boxes before anybody else can nab them, as you get a chance to see the MSL standings. Six Nations 11-0. Brooklyn 9-3 right now. You see Cobourg and Oakville tied for that fourth spot. Cobourg trying to get their leg up on Oakville here tonight as Owen Sound looks for their third win, including their third in a row. You also see there Brooklyn and Peterborough are done their regular season, 12 games in the MSL schedule. So we'll see if Six Nations can end undefeated. It looks like now it will be Owen Sound ball, which it should have been off the timeout because they did not call one yet this period.
Yep.
And Martin will go to the bench, so it will be 6-on-5 with a fresh 30.
Six Nations and Oakville had a make-up game that they were to play as a result of one getting canceled early in the year from a serious injury of a player early on, and they decided not to play that last game. So Six Nations will indeed finish 11-0 regular season and be undefeated.
As they look to try to win, I believe it'll be their third straight. Man cover, that ball's missed by Peshko. And I'm surprised it's not an over and back call. Obviously went off of somebody or something. And a timeout taken by Cobourg.
Yeah, again, I'm not certain whether that was the play that they called. I mean, they would have liked to look for Jonathan Peshko, but that was awfully early, and
I would agree.
It wasn't. He didn't get a lot on that shot. It didn't appear, and.
But I also guess, Steve, you'd probably think you'd want to try to go, I'll say 2 for 1, even though obviously if you score, you don't necessarily want to go 2 for 1. But I guess the thought is that if you go 2 for 1, if you don't get it early, you can get a chance to have the last 30.
That could be a consideration. But I think when you're in the 6-on-5 with the empty net, you're looking to get a good scoring opportunity and not chance it with something just to get a shot on goal. With your cage unattended and everybody pressing down low, fighting for space. As we saw there, we got a gratuitous bounce off the boards and did not hit the streaking Cobourg player in transition, and he was able to pick it up in the corner and then call timeout. So,
you know how long I'm waiting for you to say gratuitous bounce? I'm waiting all season, Steve.
Well, Owen Sound will hope to get one more gratuitous bounce here, and
that ball's fired up. It almost beat Saris there to the red line. That could have been, I'll say, almost catastrophic or plausibly catastrophic as Saris bounces it there to Anderson. Again, happy to chew up 30 seconds here, our Cobourg, and that will leave Owen Sound with only about 15 seconds left in the game. Anderson trying to get around Peshko. Anderson does get around Peshko. Blocked pass, what a save there by Caleb Martin. It leaves 18 to go. Back up now for Peshko. Martin makes his mad dash. Peshko bound, trying to make his way in. Peshko trying to find a pass. Airmails it, misses everybody, and now it's Moran with 8 to go. Moran fires it for McNabb. Down for Peshko. Now up. Koulis scores! Dante Koulis ties it with 1.2 left. Dante Koulis came from the bench. He came from 8th Street, 9th Street, 10th Street. Oh my! Number 79 will send us to overtime. His second of the game.
And this one took a far more direct route. It looks like it might either went just over the elbow or under the elbow of Joel Watson. You can see the shirt whiff as the ball went through it. And you know, Dante Koulis has a real hard shot. He's got a good release, but he doesn't hit the net enough. And you know, his first goal of the game was a gratuitous bounce off somebody and kind of floated in over top of Joel Watson. But that had no floating mechanism in it at all. That was a rocket.
That it was, and with that, we will now go to sudden death / sudden victory overtime. It'll be an alleged 10-minute period, but again, it will end the moment a goal is scored. We found out in, I can't remember what game, Steve. Was it game 2 or game 3 here at home?
I think it was game 2, I believe, was against Brampton, and unfortunately, we took the lead late in the game, probably with a minute and a half to go, and then with around 30 seconds to go, allowed Brampton to tie it up, and then they scored in overtime to take their one and only win so far this season. And
as you see, they're the leading point getters right now in the MSL. Launch Brewery and Stotts lead the way. Stotts will, I believe, end as the leading point getter in the MSL this year. 33 goals as well for Austin Stotts. I believe plays for San Diego in the NLL, and he's had himself a great MSL season.
Oh yeah, he is a goal scorer. He's just a big body, strong, got all the moves, and great shot, great touch. Ryan Lansbury probably has the opportunity to overtake him. They do have one game remaining on the schedule, Monday night against Brampton. And although Brampton's played some low-scoring games and played Oakville real tough early in the season, Lansbury is really the kingpin of that offense, and they'll be looking to him to lead the way and allow him to have a scoring championship.
As the 2-minute break in between the third and technically fourth period is almost fully elapsed. You gotta wonder what both coaching staffs are telling their players. You gotta think it'd be just, I'll say, pretty simple stuff, kind of like in the corner of a boxing match. It's just simple stuff of be careful in transition, don't give up easy opportunities, and look for one as best you can, but obviously don't force anything, relatively speaking, because if, unlike in the Senior B and Junior B, if they score, it is not over. Here, it is. So you can't give up any free opportunities.
Yeah, and I think you just don't want to beat yourself with a mistake. So I'm sure the message is make smart plays, make good decisions, and let it all hang out there. There's no turning back. There's no get him next shift. This is it. So you got to, don't give an inch.
As it'll be, the matchup has been since Gustafson got sent to the showers. Yeah. Halls versus Phoenix. And Jeremy Phoenix will win it, but Jeremy Phoenix almost lost it as Webster came sprawling back. Phoenix now back to Ellerton, who will look for an option as they try to make their switch from their defender or their face-off guys to their offensive guys. That ball up for Saris. Back down now. Haley trying to make his way through. 10 seconds left here on the shot clock. That ball passed over. That ball forced out of the stick there of Cobourg as they're gonna let that one go.
Yeah, and that's just, again, great job getting on the hands, getting over top, and not allowing him to take the lane, and a great time for a double.
And Now off, Cecile will go. Elijah Brown now down for Tyler Brown. Elijah Brown. Over now for Webster. Webster, nice spin. Webster trying to get over. Still couldn't get really to his forehand. Back now for Peshko. Peshko looking to fire. Will, and it's right into the chest there of Watson and just couldn't have that rebound. Pouliot. Runs it into the offensive zone and gives it off to Saris, who still has not gotten a goal yet tonight. Shot there, and couldn't believe it was Anderson as down went skiing, and that's a possession change.
Yeah, I mean, again, that was a good call.
Blumberg's trying to make his way in. Blumberg's looking for Halls now as he'll send back as Halls sent him that way. Up now for Tyler Brown. Brown now. Off for Greg Elijah Brown. Elijah Brown will fire it. Good save there as it will go for Tyler Halls. Can Halls retrieve it? He cannot. And it is now picked back up by Bohm. Bohm, who's had a couple minors here tonight, will run it into the offensive zone and give it off. Ellerton.
Yeah, Owen Sound got a little discombobulated there. They only had one lefty out, and that happened to be Tyler Halls on the offensive end. So they're going to hopefully get an opportunity to get.
As Halls, Haley in, Woods, what a save by Caleb Martin. Needed that one, you'd say, as Owen Sound tries to get away. And now they're going to go, and they lost it. But they're going to have to fire it up now with the 8 seconds about to expire, and they call it.
Again, that's just a mistake. Hayden Summers, Thompson, you can't get caught on the press. It's a one-on-one. You got to be able to beat your guy. You can't, you got to move the ball. And he got upset in the corner. And again, there could have been a reset the way he was flung in there if they weren't going to call a penalty. But nonetheless, you're giving the opposition one more chance.
Psych shot. That's a good save there by Martin, who traps it. We'll mention that an unofficial final down in Stainer as Brooklyn beats Clearview. The Senior B North Stars have now clinched the final playoff spot in the OSL. So there will be playoff lacrosse here in Owen Sound for the Senior Bs, and they are the only one. He's trying to get around there is Greg Elijah Brown. Pack for Peshko. Peshko! Fire! Just missed! McNabb scores! Jake McNabb on the eve of the 3rd minute of overtime wins it for the North Stars. It's the 3rd win in a row as number 3 ended here at the Bayshore.
Yeah, again, Peshko makes it happen with an individual effort. And, wasn't able to score, but Jake McNabb, who's Johnny on the spot, and handles the rebound and makes sure he deposits it right in the net. And well-earned win for a couple of undermanned staffs here today. And I think Cobourg just got a little fatigued. They weren't as crisp on either side of the ball late in the game, and and Owen Sound took advantage of their opportunities.
Not only that, Steve, I think you could argue of all the gratuitous bounces we've seen tonight, that may have been the most generous.
Yeah.
And that landed basically right into the stick of McNabb. No defender saw it, so he was completely unmarked as a sprawling Watson just couldn't get back in the net.
Yeah, and this sets up a real interesting game tomorrow. If Owen Sound is able to pull off another win here, that would move them up in the standings past Cobourg and then change their opponent in the playoffs to Oakville rather than Peterborough. So not only would it be a much appreciated change in venue on a financial side, because it's a lot more expensive to travel to Peterborough than it is Oakville. But nonetheless, we've had some luck against Oakville this year as well, and and we certainly not to take anything away from them. They are a star-studded team, but just the geography of it would certainly be a lot easier on our players.
Not only that, Steve, it's your 3rd win in a row, so I said 2 makes it a streak, well, 3 makes it a continued streak here for Owen Sound, who have finally seemingly found their way here in the MSL, Steve.
Yeah, and again, tonight's encouraging in a lot of different ways. Again, with a few areas, it might have taken a few steps back, but the fact that they hung around, they believed in themselves, and they won a game, and maybe they didn't outplay the opposition. So sometimes along the way, good teams learn to win. and when they're not always at their best, tonight might have been the case.
Not only that, Steve, I'd argue that Caleb Martin maybe has had his shakiest game here at home, essentially early in the game with some of the perimeter shots that didn't end up beating him, but tonight he came up big when it mattered, and allowing 8 goals in a lacrosse game, regardless of how they go in, is impressive.
Oh yeah, again, he let the first goal in the first period, the first shot on the first period, the first shot in the second, but after that, he was outstanding again. Like he saved the bacon. He made the score a little more flattering probably than it was tonight, and yeah, he's on a roll. I mean, he really believes in himself. He's a spectacular young goaltender. He's the youngest goalie in this league, and he's really making a name for himself quickly.
And the winner again is the senior B, Jake McNabb, and a big win for Owen Sound again, their 3rd in a row, and we'll just see what transpires down in Cobourg tomorrow. Steve, again, that will be on Rogers TV at, I believe, 6 o'clock sharp. So do stay tuned for that right after the senior B game between Hamilton and Owen Sound. But for that, that'll be the end of this broadcast. For Steve McCarthy, myself, Spencer Byers, and the great Mark Perry in the control room, and all the volunteers below me and around me, thank you so much for tuning in to MSL Lacrosse, the last home game of the regular season here in MSL Lacrosse. And thank you so much for Rogers TV.
Hi, I'm Sarah Carmichael. Thank you so much for joining us this season on Grey County Life. Thank you to all of our amazing guests for being a part of our program. We are going to be taking the summer off, and we'll see you in September.
Behold Emily Carr, painter, about to encounter the force that will consume her life.
How tightly they sealed their secrets from me, humble and pleading before the great trees, awaiting the invitation from the Spirit to come meet me halfway. Nothing is still now, everything is alive. At last, I knew I must see through the eye of the totem itself, the mythic eye of the forest.
Seldom able to live by her brush, before she died in 1945, Emily Carr was in the first rank of Canadian painters.
This is my country. What I want to express is here, and I love it. Amen.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Due to the length of the preceding program, we now join the regularly scheduled program already in progress.
This morning, you said your love will never give up. You said your grace is always enough. You said your heart would never forget or forsake me. Jesus I shall see, and I look upon his face, the one who saved me by his grace. When he takes me by the hand, leads me through the promised land. What a day, glorious day that will be, when he takes me by the hand and leads me through the promised land. What a day, glorious day that will be. Yes, Jesus.
Amen. What a day that will be when my Jesus I shall see. When you came into this room this morning, you should have received a communion set. And as Heather continues to lead us in worship, I'm going to encourage you to prepare your hearts for communion. And I'm going to come back in just a few moments and walk us through this important part of our service today.
Oh, the blood, crimson love, horse of life's demand, shameful sin placed on him, the hope of every man. Oh, the blood of Jesus washes me. Oh, the blood of Jesus shed for me. What a sacrifice that saved my life. Yes, the blood, it is my victory. Savior, Son, Holy One, slain so I can live. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, see the Lamb, the great I am, who takes away my sin. Oh, the blood of Jesus washes me. Oh, the blood of Jesus shed for me. What a sacrifice that saved my life. Yes, the blood, it is my victory. Oh, the blood of the precious blood of the Lamb. What a sacrifice that saved my life. Yes, the blood, it is my victory. Oh, what love, no greater love, grace, how can it be that in
Bible says in Matthew 26, beginning at verse 26, while they were eating, Jesus took bread, and after giving thanks, he broke it, gave it to his disciples, and said, "Take it. This is my body." After taking the cup and giving thanks, he gave it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you, for this is my blood, the blood of the covenant." Some of you in this place today, you come with needs, you come with circumstances. You come with all of these things in your life, and Jesus, friends, is able. Do you believe it this morning? That Jesus is able. We've said it a few times already today. But the Bible says that he is able to do exceedingly abundantly more than we could ever ask or imagine. Friends, Jesus is in this house this morning. He's here. He's with us. He wants to do the immeasurably more in your life and in your circumstance. Do you believe it this morning, friends? Do you really believe it? Do you believe it that he is able to do exceedingly abundantly more than we could ever ask or imagine? He's able to touch those places in our life that only he can. You see, we are born with this desire for him. We're born to have this desire for a relationship with God, and nothing else satisfies. We can try. We can try and fill our lives with some of those other things, the things of this world, but they always come back void. They might satisfy us for a period of time, but they never truly meet that need in our lives. I'm thankful that Jesus Christ came. I'm thankful that he died for me. And I say this often because it's so true, and I'm going to say it again this morning, that the reality and the significance of Jesus' death, and that he would have done it just for me. He would have went through all of that if I was the only person ever to have been born. That's how personal this thing is. That's how personal this is, friends. He died. He paid that price. He went to the cross for you and for me. And the Bible says that for all who call upon his name, they will be saved. Friends, that's the reality of this. That's the reality of this. Sometimes I think we forget the depth and the realness of this. I'm filled with thanksgiving in my heart, friends. I'm filled with thanksgiving in my heart. Is there anyone else here that's filled with thanksgiving in their hearts? Amen. Amen. Lord, help us not to miss these moments. That's my prayer. Lord, help us not to miss these moments. Help us not to just go through these moments as routine, but may we actually mean what it is that we're doing here this morning. In our hands, we hold simple symbols, and I seem to have left my symbols somewhere else. But in your hands, we hold these symbols, and really in and of themselves, they're honestly just simple. It's just a wafer. But what it symbolizes this morning is Jesus' broken body for you and for me. And I would encourage you this morning to break it with me today, to break it together and remember what Jesus has done. Remember what he's done for you. Remember what he's done for us. Let us eat this morning in remembrance of him. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. We worship you, Lord. We give you thanks. Thank you.